Get the hell out of the car, you thief, the officer snarled, slamming a black woman against the BMW. He had no idea she would be the one to end his career. The late afternoon sun scorched the blacktop. In the distance, a low rumble grew louder. A sleek, dark blue BMW gliding down Franklin Avenue. Behind the wheel sat Judge Clara Anderson, 42, her hair pulled back in a severe bun, eyes fixed on the changing light. Sirens erupted behind her. Red and blue flashes filled her rearview mirror. She sighed. It always happens eventually. Pulling calmly to the curb, she switched on her hazards. Two officers stepped out of the cruiser. The first, a hulking white man with a grimace, kept his hand near his gun. The second, lean and sharp-eyed, circled her car. "Hands on the wheel," the bigger one barked. Clara complied. "This vehicle's been reported stolen," the younger said, peering in with a flashlight despite the sun. "This is a mistake," Clara replied. "This is my—" "Shut your mouth." The larger one slammed a palm against her door. "No request for ID. No question. Just accusation." Clara's pulse quickened. Not from fear, but from fury. The younger officer leaned closer, eyes catching a folder of judicial documents on the back seat. "Don't move," the bigger ordered, yanking her out without warning. She stumbled, scraping her knee on the searing asphalt. He twisted her arm behind her back while the other rifled through her car. "A black woman in a car like this?" The officer sneered. "We're just making sure it gets back to the real owner." "You're wrong," Clara said. "My papers are." "I said shut up." He shoved her against the BMW, the heat of its body searing her cheek. "You know what the worst part is?" he hissed. "People like you think you can get away with anything." His breath reeked of coffee and contempt. "People like me?" Clara asked, her voice dangerously calm. "From neighborhoods where the smell of weed's stronger than bread, where kids learn to steal before they read." "You have no idea," she said. "Oh, I sure do," he retorted, pressing harder. "When we're done, you'll be locked up for a long time. They won't be gentle." The other officer emerged holding a small leather case. "Looks expensive. Definitely not hers." "See," the bigger officer said. "Your luck just ran out." The metallic click of handcuffs echoed. "You're going to regret every second of your life, lady. I'm in charge here." Clara turned her head, eyes icy. No fear. That rattled him. "You think you're so smart?" he sneered. "I've seen 100 like you, crying, begging, signing confessions nobody questions." The younger pulled out a small red handbag. "Designer. No way she owns this." Another shove jolted her shoulder. "Who'd you steal it from?" Her arm throbbed, fingers numb, but her voice stayed firm. "Keep talking. Every word will cost you more than you imagine." He laughed. "Oh yeah? What, from a jail cell?" Clara didn't answer. She was waiting. The cuffs clicked shut. "One less thief on the streets," he muttered, pushing her toward the trunk. The younger officer smirked. "We'll take her in. Routine stuff. Nobody will ask questions." "Exactly," the other said. "We'll say she tried to flee. Make up the rest." Clara's silence unsettled them. "Doesn't she seem too calm?" the younger whispered. "Nah, she's finished." Sweat slid down her temple. Still, she stared at him, unblinking, unafraid. It made him shift uneasily. "Enjoy the fresh air," he said. "The rest of your life will smell like damp walls and fear." Clara smiled faintly. "Are you sure? Because I think you're the one who won't be sleeping well." For the first time, his smirk faltered. "What the hell are you implying?" he growled. "That you've made the worst mistake of your career," she said evenly. "And you don't even know it yet." The younger officer stepped forward. "Enough games. We're putting you in the patrol car." "You're not doing anything," Clara replied with impossible calm, "until you hear me out." "Why would I?" The larger scoffed, but his grip loosened. Clara straightened, forcing them to meet her gaze. "Because every second you keep this up is costing you more than you can pay." There was an unsettling silence. The younger officer glanced at his partner, uncertain. "Look, lady," the bigger officer began, but his voice faltered. "Be quiet," Clara cut in, her tone sharp and unyielding. The man froze. Clara stepped closer, eyes glinting cold. "You have one opportunity," she said softly. The younger one swallowed. Opportunity for what? To stop this before you destroy your lives. The big officer's jaw tightened. Clara nodded toward the red handbag on her seat. In the inner pocket, something you need to see. He scoffed. Fake ID? No, Clara replied firmly. After a pause, the younger officer retrieved a leather wallet. Inside was an official Superior Court credential, her name in gold. Clara Anderson. Judge Clara Anderson, she corrected. This proves nothing, the big one muttered. Finish that sentence, Clara warned, and you'll say it under oath in my courtroom. Silence thickened. The younger officer looked away first. Remove the cuffs, she ordered. Keys jingled. With a click, she was free. She rubbed her wrists but didn't break eye contact. I'm not yelling. I'm not calling anyone yet, she said. Yet? The younger officer mocked. Yes, because everything you've done, you'll hear again in court. And there won't be a deserted street to save you. She walked past them, slid into her BMW, and drove away. She didn't need to look back. She'd remember their faces when the time came. 8 months later, the precinct smelled of old coffee. Officer Ryan Cooper lounged in his chair. Mark Ellis worked on reports. Told you she was nothing, Ryan said. If she could have done something, she would have. Mark forced a smile, but he still remembered that stare, calm, certain. A knock interrupted them. A court summons for police misconduct. Ryan scoffed. We'll shut this down in 10 minutes. Courtroom 1032. Their boots echoed on marble. Then they saw her, on the bench, black robes, perfect bun, eyes fixed on them. Case 457B, she called. Are officers Ryan Cooper and Mark Ellis present? Mark's heart pounded. Ryan swallowed hard. Your Honor, Ryan began. The suspect was threatening. We considered her a risk. A risk based on what objective indicators? Clara cut in. Ryan hesitated. Mark spoke. She was nervous, and her clothing, suspicious as in a red dress. Clara asked. The room fell silent. Recognition flashed in Ryan's eyes. This wasn't just a judge. This was her. Officer Ellis, Clara said. Do you recall telling someone she'd be locked up for a long time? Calling her a thief? I don't recall those words, he muttered. I do, Clara replied. They tried to justify themselves, but each time she dismantled their answers with precision. Calm, relentless, leaving no escape. After hours of testimony, witnesses, and evidence, Clara lifted her gavel. This court finds sufficient evidence for immediate suspension, an internal investigation, and referral to the federal prosecutor's office. The gavel struck like a gunshot. They froze. No protests. They knew it was over. As she passed them, she murmured, every shove, every word, every humiliation. It always comes back. 3 months later, rain slicked the streets. Ryan and Mark walked in silence. No uniforms, no badges, no future. The suspension had become dismissal. Savings gone. Names tarnished. At a corner, an engine hummed. A dark blue BMW stopped at the light. The window slid down. Clara, in a sleek suit, looked at them steadily. She didn't smile. Her eyes held recognition and judgment that Ryan's stomach nodded. Mark looked away. The light turned green. She rolled up the window and drove off, leaving only the shimmer of her taillights on wet asphalt. She hadn't spoken. She didn't need to. From the first day, their fate had been sealed. And every time they heard the echo of a gavel, they would think of her.